Welcome back to Obscure Gaming, the segment where, holy hell, I haven't done one of these since January! I am terrible at keeping a schedule, which, that's a shame, but we can't all be perfect. But enough of that. Obscure Gaming. I talk about the obscure of gaming, the weird, blah. And today on Obscure Gaming, we have a treat, because I'm going to be talking about something that is batshit crazy, and that is Dragonball Evolution for the PSP. And wait a second, I know a couple of people just hopped up and said, Yuriofwind, Dragonball isn't obscure at all. I'm going to come over there and I'm going to slit your throat because you lied. And hey, I just called the cops. But let me break this down to you guys because this makes perfect sense. A synonym for obscure is odd. And you cannot sit there with a straight face and tell me that Dragonball Evolution isn't odd. I mean, shit, the game somehow manages to top the movie in its oddness, so it's odd. Also, it's my segment, so really, I can talk about anything I want, but if I don't throw out these disclaimers, people are gonna bitch, so the disclaimers get thrown. So, too bad. You're gonna have to find something else to bitch about, and you will, but it won't be about this. But with this out of the way, let's actually talk about the game now. Well, we're gonna get there. Now, Dragon Ball Evolution is a fighting game released for the PSP that's meant to tie in with the shit movie of the same name. So right off the bat, you know that this is going to be gold. A movie tie-in game that couldn't even make its way to the PS3 or 360. PSP exclusive. You could just smell the promise. It's everywhere. So the story of Dragon Ball Evolution is fucking insane. Everybody knows this, and because of that, you'd think I wouldn't need to rip on it. You would think that, but you're wrong. I've been waiting for years and years to talk about this. I gotta talk about it, you guys. Especially because the game has managed to make this whole story thing even more ridiculous. So, this section of the video could go on for a little bit. Everybody hold on to your seats. The story follows Son Goku. He's your average high schooler who fights with his grandpa and gets picked on at school despite the fact that he could rip everyone's skull open. But whatever, life is difficult for poor old Goku. His grandpa didn't even teach him how to talk to girls. One day, he goes to school and encounters some classic Dragon Ball characters that I'm sure you're all very fond of. They are Agundez and Fuller. These wacky traced over picture character guys. It's terrible. Just minutes later though, Goku talks to this other picture named Chi-Chi and he gets invited to a party, but all is not well as Goku gets into a fight. It's a very graphic scene and I think this clip from Giant Bomb's quick look of the game will sum up my feelings on it perfectly.
Promise I wouldn't fight. What? Well, I'm not doing that anymore. Fight. Massacres. Turn this into... Dude, alright. The guys who were making this game, obviously, very self-aware. Oh, crap! He defeated me!
Yes, it's powerful stuff. A link to that gem of a video is going to be in the description, but while all these crazy hijinks are going down, Goku's grandpappy is in danger! He's attacked by Mai. You remember her. Don't lie. And a guy cosplaying as Piccolo, the horror. Piccolo showing his amazing power of making the screen flash red, kills Gohan. And Goku arrives home in this poorly drawn scene. Of course, being saddened by this whole event, the game expresses his sorrow with this cutscene. Again, we go over to Giant Bomb.
This is so worth the $40 so far.
$40.
Oh, we're gonna fight the corpse. Check this out. It's like a dead action. No! No!
Never gets old. Goku then sets off to find the Dragon Balls before the eclipse because if he doesn't, then Piccolo is going to destroy the world for some stupid fucking reason. But, oh no! Bulma showed up and she has a gun! Just like in the manga. Now see, Bulma is after a Prometheum orb otherwise known as a Dragon Ball, you and your stupid lingo. So they fight and then team up to find the rest of the Dragon Balls. But first, they gotta go find Master Roshi. So I guess that we're gonna go travel to his little house that's on an island. No, it's in the city now? Alright then. Well, we're gonna go to the city and not question why he has no beard or sunglasses or a talking turtle and why he's not a complete pervert anymore. Whatever. Oh, and for anyone wondering, Krillin isn't going to show up. So direct your hate mail towards Fox or something. But hey, Master Roshi joins you, and then Yamcha shows up. You know, this guy, he's apparently Yamcha, and he traps you in this hole, but then Goku jumps out of the hole and beats him up, and you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to summarize the rest of this bullshit. Yamcha joins, and you continue your journey, but then you go to a volcano, and you get attacked by another classic character, Fulham, my god. Then they continue on, and Goku has to learn how to airbend. That's right, airbend. You thought it was a different movie/show. You're wrong. It's Dragon Ball. It always has been. It's the only way that he can learn the final level of the airbender technique, the Kamehameha. Just like in the show. Skip ahead, and oh, Goku gets shot. So Master Roshi shoots him with a Kamehameha to bring him back. I wasn't aware that this was how it worked. Skip ahead again. Oh no, Piccolo is doing evil stuff and everything is violently shaking. The PSP can barely hold the suspense. And then the cosplayer appears and reveals to Goku that dun dun dun, his real name is Kakarot and that he's a Saiyan. And right now there's a tiny man jumping up and down inside my head, smashing things out of anger and confusion. So yada yada yada. Final battle. Goku wins, big fucking surprise, in this super duper anticlimactic beam struggle. Not even sure if Piccolo fired a beam. Then, yay, happy endings. Now beat up your girlfriend during the credits. Really, that's what you do. Credits roll, beat up your girlfriend, do it. But that's the story. It's really horrible. So you should be happy that I read it all to you. So now you don't have to watch it. I saved your poor souls. You are welcome. But fucking everything is off, and yeah, a lot of this is the movie's fault. When they were making the game, I doubt they had a lot of wiggle room, but Jesus Christ, ignoring the fact that every character has been butchered and some story elements were just randomly thrown out there, like, I'm Piccolo and you're Kakarot, and these are just left there to forever confuse me. The writing is terrible, and the way the story is conveyed is fucking awful. You'll read great lines like, Geeko, you know, because everyone says Geeko, and other things like, hey, did someone fart? And, fucking goddamn it, there's lots of backstory about complete nonsense. 2,000 years ago, great evil, Piccolo sages, Dragon Ball movie. And as far as how the scenes play out, there are no real cutscenes, except for stupid things like this, but there's just these portraits. These sliding portraits, which look completely ridiculous, so that's a redeeming factor right there. But the game will still try and convey these really dramatic moments like this one, where Goku has to blow out these candles using his airbending techniques, and every time he blows one out, he moves closer to Chi-Chi. But the game doesn't show any of it, so you just have to read text that's like him yelling, and then, yay, I blew one out, and then you watch Goku slide across the screen, he's closer to Chi-Chi now. I mean, what the fuck? I know it's the PSP, but you could have at least sprung for some production values. Anyways, I've gone on long enough. Hell, oh Christ, I went on for more than 8 minutes? Shit. That's like a new record. Fuck, I even talked about the presentation a little bit. Point is, the story is complete and utter garbage, but that may not be a reason to not check out the game, because the gameplay is actually kinda okay. So let's talk about the gameplay now, otherwise this video is never gonna end! Now, Dragon Ball Evolution is a fighting game, and as a fighting game, you have modes you'd expect out of a fighting game. Story, which, no more of that. Arcade, which gives you more story, so fuck that. Network battle, where you can play with other people who are not playing the game. Training mode, where you train. Mission mode, where you do missions. Gallery, and old reliable options mode. And survival mode. A decent selection, I'd say, and also fairly self-explanatory stuff. But hey, Game modes are great and everything, but what characters do you get to play as, Well, let me tell you, there's Goku, Gohan, not the young one, the old one, Bulma, Master Roshi, Yamcha, Piccolo, and those are the only real characters that matter. But then there's also Mai and Fulum and Ozaru, or Uzaru. I don't care. Uzaru sounds pretty cool. Uzaru. And a secret character. Who could the secret character be? Why, it's Neo Piccolo. Fucking great. Even though the character roster isn't anything special, the gameplay is actually good. If you've been paying attention to the footage, you may be thinking to yourself that this game looks similar to the Budokai games, and that makes sense because it was developed by the same dudes who made the Budokai games. To be more specific in this case, the Shin Budokai games, which were also on the PSP. So it retains the elements from those games. You have a basic attack button, an attack that lets you do these charge attacks. Combining it with your basic attacks will result in different combos. You have a button that will let you do your character's special moves, which includes an ultimate attack, though don't expect to see characters pull off any memorable techniques. I mean, Goku will fire a Kamehameha, but Piccolo fires beams out of his eyes, and Yamcha runs you over with a stupid car thing. Speaking of Yamcha, all his special moves revolve around this stupid drill he has. And look, I know you don't want to follow the source material, but stupid drill? Oh, and you have a button that'll let you charge your meter, and when you get full meter, you get to enter some special state, and another button that lets you dash around really fast at the expense of meter. And you know what? It feels just like a Dragon Ball Z game. Exactly like a Dragon Ball Z game, which, given the developer, that's to be expected, but if someone on the outside were to look at it, you'd just kind of assume that something horrible would happen. But luckily, they only did something horrible with the everything else. The gameplay is intact, and just like the other Dragon Ball Z games, it's fun. I mean, I never thought I'd say fun when regarding Dragon Ball Evolution, but it is, especially if you're a fan of the Budokai games. Unfortunately, it's only fun for so long. I mean, even the Budokai games aren't the best fighters out there, so even if you do initially have a lot of fun with the game, you'll grow bored of it soon enough. And the source material is probably to blame for you getting bored quickly. I mean, it's awesome to see Goku and Vegeta have a crazy fight where they beat the shit out of each other, and it's also awesome to pit other characters against each other. But does anyone really feel the urge to pit movie Goku up against Fu Lam? I didn't think so. Overall, though, as I said, the game is fun. It has a variety of game modes and that Budokai feel, so fans of those games should have fun with this, maybe for a little while. Whether or not they are willing to spend money to play it is another story, though. But, yeah, fun. Hey, we're going to talk about the presentation now, so, yeah. Oh, where do I start? I guess I'll start with the visuals you'll see during battles. The character models are blah. Of course, they're modeled after their movie counterparts, so that's -5 points already. And there isn't any cell shading to make things look all pretty, so the characters don't look the best. Granted, they could look worse, I suppose. They do animate decently enough, but their faces look completely emotionless, like even they don't want to be here. But the worst thing of all is how some of the characters walk. Now, I want you to look at this. Look at Piccolo here. Look at him walk. That is the derpiest fucking walk I have ever seen. And Yamcha does the same goddamn thing. What the hell is their problem? The backgrounds aren't anything special. And they're also non-interactable, so you can't knock enemies into the air or into some crazy cutscene where they end up in the air or anything like that. Hell, you can't really fly either, so there you go. But let's move on to the best part of the presentation. These stupid character portraits. Okay, so I want to know who made these, because it looks like someone took a photograph, okay, and then they traced over it, and they made that the character portraits. But they didn't just do that. They didn't just trace over it. It looks bad, by the way. They also did these other ones where they would make the faces look stupid, or make it so that the portrait in question looks completely different from the portraits you've been seeing the entire game. And again, I gotta reference Giant Bomb again. I'm sorry. I fucking love them.
Here's your special birthday gift.
It's a sushi chew.
It's happening below the box there. Who's this guy? Who is that? Where did this guy come from? I'm angry at this apple. I hate apples. You know that, Grandpa!
Again, it never gets old! The portraits have a tendency to move around, and by move around I mean slide. They slide left and right and up and down. I showed you a quote-unquote fight scene earlier, and there are other scenes like this where you'll just have Goku standing there, gun right in his face, and he doesn't look like he gives a shit. The problem with these scenes is that they're handled terribly. How can you tell a compelling story when everyone is just kind of sliding around like morons? You'll have scenes where you have like 4 dudes slide across the screen really fucking fast. I'm too busy laughing to pay attention to your stupid story. You know? Try cutscenes. But enough about graphics. It's time to talk about the audio. That's probably not good either. Now the voice acting is pretty much non-existent. You'll hear voices at the start of a battle, during the battle, occasionally, and at the end of the battle, and none of the voice acting is really that good. You will hear some notable voice actors in there, but most of the voice actors just seem really uninterested as to what's going on, which, you know, you can't really blame them, but yeah. The sound effects are what you'd expect. Hitting people noises. Nothing out of the ordinary here. So let's talk about the music. I hate it. The tunes you'll hear in battle they're just bullshit electronica type generic ass music. No awesome Budokai metally musics. Fuck that shit. And the music you'll hear during story mode is very stock. It all sounds like stock music. Like, well, this is the song we play when things are going A-okay, but uh-oh, something bad is happening. Quick, play the something bad is happening music. It's just shitty. I'm sorry. Overall, the presentation is forgettable. But that's Dragonball Evolution for the PSP, a fighting game that most won't play, and that's probably for the best. Is the game truly terrible, though? Because it's gotten plenty of shit scores, so a lot of people think that it's god-awful. So here's the bottom line. The gameplay is fun. It's the same as the Budokai games, but everything surrounding the gameplay is shitty. The characters, the setting, the music. You're better off just playing one of the Shin Budokai games for the PSP instead, or even picking up one of those HD collections for the PS3 or 360. With that said, though, if you're a huge fan of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z like me, even if you hate Evolution, and you do hate Evolution, you'll probably have some fun with this, because if nothing else, it is a competent Dragon Ball Z fighting game, and as a fan of the series, it's kind of nice to own it in a weird collector's way, though I still regret buying the movie on Blu-ray. That's $9 that I will never get back. I miss it. This has been Obscure Gaming. Thanks for watching. Yo guys, Yuriofwind in the house, and welcome to another episode of End Slate. You know, we do this on the fly, hanging out on the streets. You guys get the picture. Last time on End Slate, I don't fucking know what we did last time on End Slate. But, you know, it's not about last slate. It's about this slate. We're moving forward. We're moving into the future. And so, you know what? We're going to look at the top of the screen, because that's where the future is. And 2 boxes. So let me tell you guys something. There's 2 videos up there, right? And I'm going to recommend them to you. So let's do this. One of the videos, last video I did, Gaming Mysteries on... Oh, by the way, I hope you enjoyed the new Obscure Gaming. It's been a while since I've done these. I plan on doing more. It's just, I kept changing topics. I don't know. Anyways, top of the screen. One of the videos I'd like to recommend is the last video I did, which is a Gaming Mysteries on Sonic Extreme for the Xbox. A lot of people seem to enjoy that. Thank you guys for enjoying it. I hope you enjoyed this again. So there's that. And the other video I would like to recommend is a video for my Let's Play channel. I don't know which video I'm going to recommend, but since I'm going to be updating that channel a lot more frequently, I figured I should probably start talking about it more. So, you know, there you go. And as to the bottom of the screen, if you want to like the video or subscribe or, you know, whatever people do. I don't really know what other people ask to do. You know, you can do that. So there you go. I've said pretty much all I need to say, I think. I can't really think of anything else. Oh, except one thing. Man, I really hope Nintendo stops doing Nintendo things soon. Because I want to do videos on Nintendo stuff, but I'm scared, you guys. Why won't you love me, Nintendo? Take me back. Do I need to go get a boombox, you know, and like stand outside your office and be like, baby, come back. You can blame it all on me, even though it's not my fault. It's your fault. But look, I got these candies and chocolate. I didn't drug them. Shut up. And this has been Enslave. Bye, guys.